Доброго дня, друзі! Щиро вітаю вас всіх на моєму каналі. Сьогодні хочу показати такий великий корабель, який воював в Другу мирову війні. Потім він ще участвував у В'єтнамській війні. І по 70-й рік він просто стояв десь в запасі. Після 70-го року вони вирішили, що з ним зробити, і зробили просто музей. Він вже десь років 20 або 30 вже працює як музей. Щоб сюди зайти, треба заплатити $20 і можна гуляти по всьому кораблю. Я тут був, дуже великий, за цілий день не обходиш. Хто живе в Каліфорнії або хто приїжджає в гості, то обов'язково сюди прийти і подивитися цей корабль. Дуже інтересний, багато що можна тут побачити. А поки я буду показувати, то ви просто підпишіться на мій канал. Поставте лайки, напишіть свої коментарі. І я запитав дядько сказав, що покаже не багато, але чуть-чуть всередині і наверху. Ідемо дивитися. А це вже перед входом, де написана табличка, як цей корабль називається. Цей корабль називається USS Hornet. Він знаходиться в Аламеді, Каліфорнія. А це вже воєнна база, яка вже не дійсно, вже не працює. Вона вже заброшена, тут відкриваються всякі ці вже бізнеса і так далі. А це ми бачимо рядом, ще корабль стоїть, який він діючий, працює. І ми приближаємося вже чуть-чуть вперед до входу на корабль. І це ми бачимо вже самоліт, який во время війни він працював, а зараз він стоїть як музей. І тут вход стоїть $20, пенсіонерам $15 і так далі. Ух! І це нам треба піднятися наверх, на корабль, по ступенькам. Дуже страшно, тому що дуже високо і інтересно.
1970, old 70. So it's the second World War ship, yes. And okay, I didn't know it served so long. So these jets were really flying.
І зараз він нам покаже карту, яку во время війни, скільки було японських самольотів збито. Це, він сказав, це є репліка, і він вже зробив розказувати, скільки там воно все було збито, самольотів.
That's the battle board from World War II. It's a replica. The actual one is kind of powder blue, and it's actually at the Naval Aviation Museum in Pensacola. So that's a replica. I do believe it has the finest battle record of any ship in history, but we don't have all the awards. The Enterprise got all the awards, but they didn't save Enterprise, they saved us. So each one of those red flags with the starburst is an Imperial Japanese aircraft that either got shot down or was destroyed on the ground. 668, that's a whole mess of airplane. And all the different strikes that we did, some of the ships that we helped destroy. Pretty impressive. Well, that's how you number them. The highest deck we can go on to above the flight deck is the primary flight control. That's where the tower is, where the airbox is and stuff. So, there's a lot to see when you come here. You're not going to do it in one day.
Yes.
This is the hangar deck. The second deck right underneath us, you can tour the flight deck. On the weekends, you can get a paid tour down to the engine room. You get a paid tour.
We have to do this. We have to come back and we have to do this.
Yeah, you got to go up to the bridge. You got to go up to primary flight control. Yeah, that's it. So, and Hornet.
І він сказав, що тут приходити треба зранку, тому що тут дуже багато що побачити можна і за цілий день не обійти. Дуже велика квадратура тут, і треба тут просто готуватися, приходити зарані.
Doesn't open, you during the flight, I would be always
Well, no,
afraid.
I mean, look at,
Yeah.
look at all the locks, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And make them really strong.
I mean,
І це ми йдемо до вертольота, якому він літав. Він казав, що літав тут в Каліфорнії і тут як помощником. І в Сан-Дієго теж він літав.
Really?
Take a pictures.
oh wow, that many dishes. Okay.
Well, you have to separate what this did in the Navy versus what it did
In the movie.
versus what it represents. Okay. It flew here in Alameda, 90 to 93, which is where I got my flight time. And it flew in San Diego when the squadron moved. When I reaffiliated with the squadron, I saw it in the hangar right after it was in the movie Apollo 13. That's the only reason it's here. I knew where it was. 2 years later, I retired from the Navy. 2 years after that, in 99, I came here. You know, they wanted me to restore that helicopter. And I said, you don't have a Sea King. No, we don't. And we go, you want one? I know where there is one. It took 5 years. In 2005, we got it. So we just simply restored it back to the movie paint job. But the movie paint job is the helicopter that we actually had on the Hornet when we picked up Apollo 11 and 12.
Okay,
So
so-
it's accurate.
But I want to ask you, so Sea Kings did fly out of Hornet. I mean, they were not too large for Hornet.
Oh, no, no. The last mission, anti-submarine warfare, this Hornet was loaded with them.
Is your pilot license still active or already not?
I didn't fly these as a pilot. I was a crewman.
Acro.
I have since got a helicopter license,
Oh, helicopter.
but I haven't flown in a while.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
like to go back to that.
Expensive, huh?
So this one, the real one that picked up all of those, crashed at a later date. It's at the bottom of the sea off of Santa Catalina, or it would be in the Smithsonian. So when they went to do the movie, Apollo 13, there was 2 squadrons left that were flying these, both reserve squadrons, my squadron and one of
Він сказав, що в 1993 році він приїхав сюди, і тут літав, і вийшов вже на пенсію. І він казав, що літав тут в Аламіді і в Сан-Дієго.
These are the presidential helicopters. And they're about to switch over to a much modern.
And look at the blades. how
That's
you
my
can
baby.
hold them. Oh my God.
Marine ones are still
Just
thinking.
incredible.
They're gonna go to S97s, I think. Basically an updated, bigger version of this. You'll see the lineage. Just look at it and go, oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that one.
І це ми вийшли наверх, на самий корабль, тут, де сідають ці воєнні самольоти. Тут приблизно сідають десь 100 самольотів туди-сюди. Воєнних самольотів, цих, які носять бомби.
But so this one also had a catapult.
Yes. Right up front. That one's hooked up to a catapult. The other one, you see that red and white little.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's it.
And my lucky brother.
Yeah. Wire some of those things.
Oh yeah.
All right, come over here and look. All right, so see that the far left tower of the Bay Bridge? Okay, right next to it is a white thing sticking up.
Yes,
Coit Tower.
below.
Coit Tower.
Okay.
On the same side, I mean same distance, but on the other side,
Yes, it's a golden.
you'll see the north tower of the Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
So all three just like that. If you're a photographer, that's a money shot right there. And that way you don't have to shot.
І він показав, що тут є точка, де дуже гарно виходять фотографії, і люди заробляють на цьому гроші.
Primary flight control for all the glasses.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you can see. Is there an architect?
І це підлога, яку ми йдемо по цьому зверху, це зроблено все із дерева. Таке сіре, покрашене, воно все є зроблено з дерева. Так він сказав. І в Втору мирову війну тут сідали самольоти на цю дерев'яну підлогу цю. І воно тут так все гарно покрашено сірим таким.
Oh, they bring the planes from the bottom.
That's an elevator.
Oh, there is
That's an elevator. And the center of the elevator.
І як подумаєш, що ти прикасаєшся до таких машин, такі, які літають, такі, знаєте, дуже становиться таке аж інтересно потрогати це все.
Battleship production for a certain amount, so nobody gets ahead of everybody else. So they took some of those cruiser hulls and made aircraft carriers out of them, like Saratoga, the early stuff. So when you see CVA, CVS, the C stands for. So then they built stuff on top. Normally not a big extra cockpit.
Подивіться, які великі масштаби, де сідають самольоти, ці воєнні самольоти. Подивіться, яка велика така квадратура. Дуже велика. А оце все я показую, це була воєнна база. Вона вже зараз не працює, але оце воно все туди далі. Зараз все зроблено бізнеса, там щось продають і так далі. Тут все повідкривали, багато всяких бізнесів, навіть там спортзал є і так далі, такі міста.
Take the centerline elevator that was in the back, push it out to the side, put the angle deck in. See all these modifications that this thing, they took all these lessons of all these modifications from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. In the late 50s, they built the Forrestal class, which is the modern carrier today. Where are they going to put the armor deck? Up here, where it belongs. Okay? Protect the ship from the top. Where are they going to put all the ready rooms? Right underneath the flight deck, where they belong. What are you going to do with that escalator? Well, get rid of it. Don't need it.
But make the ship...
And make the ship bigger and wider, which makes it more stable. And that's why they're 100,000 pound class, and this is 45,000 ton class. Yeah, so that's kind of the story of how things turned out the way they were.
I didn't know that the motion of the tweet was the reason for...
Yeah. I read stuff all the time and just reread that again the other day. I went, oh, okay. Everybody wanted to limit stuff. But then the Japanese felt slighted. And it's all these little things in history that piss people off and just start gripes.
But I mean, I remember reading sort of World War II kind of technical stories saying that the British carriers had armor decks and the Americans had the wooden decks.
Right. And they had an enclosed bow, which these got much later. They have an enclosed bow from the start because they were operating in the Atlantic, which is a hell of a lot more stormy and nasty than the Pacific, where it's hot.
Is that right?
Yeah, where it's hot and you wanted everything kind of open.
Okay.
Yeah. We adopted the hurricane bow later because Admiral Halsey ran the fleet through a typhoon. And the typhoon was so bad, 2 destroyers went into waves and we never saw them again. Both ships, both crews, totally gone. Yeah, he should have got court-martialed over that. And a 100-foot wave came down crashing on here and crumpled.
100-foot wave.
Yeah, came down and crumpled the forward end of the flight deck. And we had to operate this in reverse to launch planes off. There's another big story there. And after World War II, they decided all of our carriers now have a hurricane bow. So that won't ever happen again.
Learning by experience.
Lots of stories.
Thanks so much.
І він розказав, що цей корабль строївся всього за 14 місяців. Построїли цей корабль за 14 місяців. Просто не уявити.
And if it breaks, you better have enough power to keep going. About 5 years ago, they had maybe more than that. They had an E2 Hawkeye turboprop plane come down, hit the deck, broke the cable, kept going, went over the side of the ship, and everybody thought they're dead. 5 seconds later, pucker factor like that. But I don't know how they did it, but that pilot was good. He barely got out of it.
How do you do this job? Do you have a PTSD after that? How can you manage this amount of stress?
You got to be an A-type. You know, walking. There's guys that just think they're invincible from the start, and that's just the personality type. I'm somewhere in the middle. You know, when you go down to one of the ready rooms, we have the status board of the pilots from VS-37, I think it was, and these guys will come in and land. And if that wasn't good enough, just you know, they're always searching for perfection. So they're graded to see who's the top pilot. Me, I would say I'm back, I'm alive. I don't care what grade I got. I'm sucking air. I get to eat food and sleep tonight. You know, that's good enough for me. But some guys are. These are the football heroes that are flying these things. And good for that, because in combat, that's who you want in that airplane. Somebody that's not going to give up.
І він розказав про пілотів, як самоліти сядали, і як троси рвалися і так далі. Дуже було інтересно. І він сказав, що ці пілоти просто герої. І це я прийшов вперед корабля. Це показує ще раз, це такий дійствуючий корабль, який працює. А з цієї сторони я хочу показати корабль, як він виглядить вже спереду. Дуже гарно, такий великий. І тут видно вже Сан-Франциско, Каліфорнія. Дуже близько, прямо видно дома і все. І вітерець дуже гарний сьогодні, тепленько. І так дуже аж приємно, і хочеться бути на вулиці, не хочеться додому. І я буду закінчувати моє вже відео, так що, друзі, не забувайте підписуватися на мій канал. І пам'ятайте, що ви самі найкращі, ставте такі лайки і пишіть коментарі. До побачення, до зустрічі. Хай вас всіх Бог береже і Україну теж. Пока-пока.